sorry I haven't done a video this whole week. I've been busy, but today's video I am gonna be doing on is feuds I want to see, like matches. Feuds matches, same thing to me. I want to see. These are like it's not really dream matches. These are more like matches like I would want to see with people who are in the company right now. So they're not in really any order. It's just 10 matches. Number 10. If Batista comes back, I want to see him fight Brock Lesnar because he's one of the only few people I can legitimately see challenge Lesnar. Well, because they're both MMA, they have MMA backgrounds. Batista's been doing the, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and all that stuff. So why not? It makes sense. The Animal versus the Beast for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Hell, do it at Survivor Series. That'd be a big pay-per-view to do it at. And I think they could put on a competent match. I'm pretty sure they could put on a decent match, And it would be awesome, like, have Lesnar and Heyman out there. Like, if this is me, if Batista comes back, have it be set up the night after Night of Champions. I know Survivor Series is in like 2 months, but what I'm thinking is, I'm hearing he's gonna do like every other month. So why does Lesnar need to defend at Hell in a Cell anyway? You know what I mean? I think just personally, the Hell in a Cell main event should just be Ambrose and Rollins. That's just me. So have Batista interrupt one of Lesnar's and Heyman's promos and pretty much have him come out there and challenge Lesnar like at Survivor Series. That'd be a big Survivor. That would actually make Survivor Series mean something, because Survivor Series the last couple of years hasn't meant jack shit. So, that's my number 10. Number 9 is Kurt Angle. I think when, because I'm pretty sure he'll come to WWE soon, because I'm pretty sure his contract in TNA expires, I think, this month. Have Kurt Angle come back and challenge Lesnar. He's another one who's one of the only really legitimate guys who I think can legitimately take on Lesnar. And these guys have had great matches. I mean, a lot of people would try to say, well, they're too part-time. Come on, people. Realistically, who else realistically could take on Lesnar now? Would you rather have Kurt Angle take on Lesnar, or would you rather have Big Show, which is a rumored match? Come on. And they could put on a great match. Pretty much the same way I booked Lesnar and Batista. Have Kurt Angle interrupt Lesnar. That'd be actually a perfect way to bring him back. That'd actually be a great way to bring Kurt Angle back. Have him interrupt Lesnar and challenge him. That would be I would love that. And I'm pretty sure the fans can get behind it, and it could feel like that ruthless aggression era feel to it. I think just because they're both, and how do you know Kurt Angle's going to be a part-timer? You call Batista a part-timer, but he probably, you know what I think? If Kurt Angle ever did come back, he might do a Jericho type of thing, maybe come back every couple of months. Come back for like a run, and then he'll run for several months. Maybe he'll do something like that. And I'm pretty sure him and Lesnar are at Survivor Series. That's how I do it. And then maybe have a second match at Royal Rumble. If Lesnar doesn't end up defending at TLC, then they'll have like a match at Royal Rumble. So yeah. Number 8, it's still Kurt Angle. Have him Kurt Angle versus Triple H. The only reason, because I was reading, Triple H doesn't want Kurt Angle back in the company. And hell, you can have a story there. Kurt Angle and Triple H have always had animosity towards each other since the Attitude Era. And I think these guys could put on a decent match. Because, look at Triple H's match with Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 30. He could still go. So Triple H and Angle could put on a great match. And I think have Kurt Angle come back, and pretty much Triple H try to ruin him. Have Triple H constantly put him in matches against, like, the Authority, pretty much ruin him. That and see, Kurt Angle challenging Triple H. I wouldn't really do it for the control of the company, which a lot of my friends suggested. I'm like, I don't know if I'd book it like that. That's just me. Or have Triple H. Another way you could bring Kurt Angle back. Have Triple H talk about, maybe have him come out, talk about what's going on with the Authority and all that jazz. And then Kurt Angle comes out and pretty much stares down Triple H. There you go. Triple H, what's wrong with him having a match every once in a while? If they do this, This could be a good WrestleMania match. If I was booking it, I'd do it then. I think maybe have Corneo come back Royal Rumble time. If he doesn't come back for the previous match before, have him come back at Royal Rumble and then challenge Triple H, and they have like 2 month build up to Mania. So we can do that. Number 8, Dolph Ziggler versus Christian. When hopefully Christian comes back and stuff, I want to see him and Ziggler in a match for the IC belt, because they could put on a great match, and I mean, they've had great matches in the past. So I think these guys could put on a pretty good match and have Christian be the heel, have him be the angry veteran that's jealous of Dolph Ziggler, because Dolph Ziggler, he's trying to prove that Christian still got it and that he's the superior one. You can have something like that. I truly think that'd actually be decent, because Christian hasn't been in a main feud in, I think the last really big feud he was in was against Orton, and that was like 2011, like 3 years ago. He hasn't really been in a major feud. Well, but there are problems. A lot of reasons people don't want to put Christian in the title picture, because Christian gets hurt way too much. But I mean, hey, I would love to see a feud. It'd be a good IC title feud for Ziggler. Number 6, are we at number 6? Number 7, there you go. Number 7, Wade Barrett versus Rusev. I think the reason I say this will be a good way to turn Wade Barrett face. Have Rusev and Lana do one of their typical anti-American promos. I get Barrett is British, but it would, in my opinion, the reason it would make sense, because it'd be why does it everyone he has to face has to be American necessarily? And plus, it'd be a good way to get Barrett over. And these guys could put on a great match, because they're both pretty stiff, that stiff brawlers type of match, and I would like to see that. I think these guys could put on a very good match. I know the next 2 matches are going to have Rusev in it, so number 6, Rusev and Cesaro. Pretty much the same thing. Cesaro needs to turn face, people. Cesaro, he's not doing anything right now. Have him face Rusev. Who cares? I think these guys could put on a great stiff brawler type match, and I think could do it, and it'd be a good way to turn Cesaro face. I mean, now granted, Cesaro's not the best talker, but I think these guys can still put on a decent match. And it could be a good mid-card type match. Number 5, Rusev and Sheamus. I'm not the biggest Sheamus fan. Some of the matches, I don't really like the people, but it would make sense. The reason I say Rusev and Sheamus, it'd be a good way to Rusev get his first title. Have him win the U.S. title from Sheamus, and he pretty much makes the U.S. title the Russian title, and then have maybe a Jack Swagger come back and try to challenge him again, in the future. Why the fuck not? That'd be a competent, feud. Number 5? No, 4. Number 4, I'm trying to think. Seth Rollins and RVD. I know that sounds weird, but RVD, I would love to see him in an actual feud. Because he really, since coming back, he's been in random matches. He really hasn't been in any feuds legit. Why not have him feud with Rollins? The reason I say this, because Rollins is almost like the new RVD. He does like the really high extreme spots. That's what RVD did back in the day. Like when he was in ECW and his early WWE days. He would do high spots and have Rollins do it. Rollins and RVD, they've had good matches, and I'm pretty sure if you give him a story, Rollins being pretty much saying that he's the new top high flyer in the company, and then RVD comes back and says, no, you gotta get through me, and it could be like veteran versus, not really a rookie, but versus, like, something like that. Master versus apprentice type of deal right there. And they could put on. I would love to see them in a ladder match for the briefcase. I think, it would be a good way, good singles competitor for feud for Rollins. Three, Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns. I think Roman Reigns, in my opinion, before you put him in like the world title picture, he needs a lot of work because his feud with Orton has been kind of because they haven't done much. But Rollins and Bray Wyatt would be a good one. I mean, Reigns and Bray Wyatt would be a good one because it would be a big deal type of feud, kind of top tier type of feud. And Bray Wyatt I think Bray Wyatt and Reigns could have a pretty decent match. I'm pretty sure. And I think this story could be awesome. Have Roman Reigns just randomly get it picked out by the Wyatts. It's pretty much saying that Roman Reigns stands for what he hates, kind of like what he did with Cena in a sense. That Roman Reigns is a phony. That I think these guys could put on a great feud. I think these guys could put on a decent feud, and it'd be a good big deal for feud for Reigns because this is what he needs. Roman Reigns, in my opinion, he's not ready for the main event right now. If you have him go against a guy like a Bray Wyatt, I think that'd be awesome. Because Bray Wyatt's the perfect heel, in my opinion, for Roman Reigns. I think he'd be the perfect rival. I would love to see this. To have this be a match like at any pay-per-view you could do it at. Number 2, Dean Ambrose. And we got a big person for Dean Ambrose to face. So I already got my number 1. I just need a number 2. Dean Ambrose. You know what? I'm going to say it. Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar. I know that sounds weird, but in my opinion, he should be in that spot besides Reigns. In my opinion, you know why? Have Ambrose somehow win the Royal Rumble, and he faces Lesnar at WrestleMania. I'm sorry. You know why? You can do what they did with, look at Punk and Lesnar last year. You can do something like that. Have Lesnar just constantly beat down Ambrose, and Ambrose keeps getting up. It makes sense. Ambrose loves pain. It would make sense. Just for the sheer fact he gets hurt a lot, and he would take the beating, and I think these guys could put on a competent match. I'm pretty sure. I would take that seriously. I don't know if I could buy maybe Ambrose beating Lesnar. I don't know. I don't care. But at least have him fight. That would be awesome. Maybe have Ambrose win. So just have Ambrose win, and then Rollins cashes in on Ambrose. There you go. And then that'll be a good way for them to feud for the title. Number 1 is Bray Wyatt and Dean Ambrose. In my opinion, this is a feud I want because they're both similar. They're both really good on the mic. They're both pretty much crazy, and I'm pretty sure. Like I remember a few months ago, it was like around the time Rollins had just broken up the Shield by beating him down. And on SmackDown, they had like a match for the briefcase. And I remember watching them like, these guys could have a great feud. And especially now that Ambrose is a singles competitor, it would be awesome. Have the Wyatts attack him. I'm trying to think for a good reason for these guys to feud. It would just be awesome. I think these guys, just the sheer, just seeing these two go back and forth on the mic would be awesome. They're my top 2 favorite guys right now in the company. And just seeing them go, and I'm pretty sure the match they just had on SmackDown a few months ago was awesome. And I'm pretty sure if they did this at a pay-per-view, do it like, it could be a SummerSlam, even a WrestleMania type match. I would love to see Ambrose and Bray Wyatt. Wow, mine went to a blank for a second. Yeah, Wyatt and Ambrose would have an awesome feud. I mean, hell, it'd be another good feud. Besides Rollins, would be good. So that is my list, guys. Give me your list on the bottom on the comment section. Give me matches you would love to see. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for my Raw review. Signing off. Peace.